Why do I have a bunch of geese in my yard? Oh, now the chicken's coming up. She's mad. What are you mad at, chicken? Oh, now they're gonna go tilt their head back and go back to sleep. Y'all get back in your pen. Goodness. Oh, it's been a while since these guys been on camera. Them little geese right there, they was little last time we was on camera. Kinda had a camera break. That's why I haven't been on the YouTubes for a while. So, welcome back. Or should I welcome myself back? I don't know. One or the other. But hey, we got something else to use for now, and a lot has changed. I think they wanted to say hi to the camera, or maybe they're just yelling because they want to yell because they're geese. Probably all of the above. Now they're getting my that's why they're yelling. Those are the neighbor's ducks. The geese hate them guys. I come out in the morning, they're screaming like there's a predator. No, it's just the neighbor's ducks come over to say hi. So, my goodness. Been a while. Where do I start? Actually, not a whole lot's been done since the last time I was on camera. Of course, I started on the foundation of the barn since right around the last time, and I kind of got not very far at all. Started hewing up a couple timbers. These are probably getting thrown out because they're more or less practice, and plus I can now mill. That is going to be probably another topic for another video, but I might showcase the timbers off this morning. In fact, one of the videos that I just noticed got recently a lot of attention was that video on making my own lumber with that little jig, which now I have a better system. I got a bigger saw, and I got an actual Alaskan chainsaw mill. So there's probably going to be a video on that at some point in time. But don't quote me on it, because I never know what I'm going to do from day to day, of course. You guys better be quiet. But as you can see, it's winter. Basically. Heavy clothes to come out. I got to figure out something to do with the water situation, because it's not in a good situation. Chicken's freaking out. Always. Always freaking out. Run away! Got a couple trees cut down. Started milling them up. Actually, you know what? I will go showcase the timbers for that. So this has been what's the recent kind of project we're working on. That right there is probably going to be the end wall if I do not sell the beams, because I kind of need the money. So there's two spruce trees on the property. I ended up getting a 6x6, 6x6, and a 4x4. They're all about 10 foot long. That's out of that spruce. Then underneath this 1-inch slab of hickory, bang, bang. I don't feel like opening the garage door up, but 13 foot. We got two 6x4s, 6x6, and another 6x6. And of course, I'm working on the joinery right now. I haven't finished it up. Of course, my main goal for that barn is to do it pretty much all by hand, all with natural resources that I can achieve. Partly because it's cheaper, but partly because I have firm belief that we kind of do need to utilize more of our own resources. So hence why I'm doing timber frame. In fact, this walnut, which I probably should have milled up for something else, I even hand hewn. I didn't even mill it up. In fact, I got it a little low on my hewings up here so you can see the marks, but most of it I actually trimmed it off to where you can't really see it. Because, you know, it's going to be matched into milled up lumber. Wouldn't make sense to have one hand hewn, one milled, probably another hand hewn. If you guys can picture it, this bottom plate will be sitting on the stone foundation, that being there. Come up, this is about 5 foot, so off the ground we're talking 8 foot to this point here once it's built. So there'll be another beam going across there, down to another beam there. Then there will be a girt in the middle. Of course, all your cross braces. Then that'll be one part of the wall. Not too complicated, just a lot of hand work. Not that I'm complaining. I really enjoy doing it. If you're building a house or a homestead, look into the timber framing. I believe it's more efficient on resources, but it's hard to say. It's more or less, you do it for the achievement. Of course, staying here where I got the garden, or did have the garden, starting a brush pile. There's the rest of them I got to drag over, and wow, that sun is very bright. Here's the slabs and cuttings off. Why is there a random egg there? Oh, the joy of keeping chickens. I ain't quite sure what I'm going to do with all this extra slab wood. I think for these round pieces that are too small to mill or hew, I'm going to use them as either fence posts, or I might even build myself a little shed over here, like a wood shed. Kind of at that corner, I would like to build a little shed to store lumber, because I plan on, I better figure out which way I want to point, because, you know, the sun being in the camera's face. What I'm thinking, I'm going to start doing some custom milling for some people. I don't necessarily like the temporary stuff for, like, over the winter and all that, because, you know, coldness, but where we live, it's not like Minnesota or Canada or whatnot, where we get massively brutal winters. But yeah, here in south central Pennsylvania, we don't get very many days where it stays below freezing all day. Once in a great while, we'll see a day or two where it's like -5, but that's rare. However, I'm not saying we got completely mild winters, as in, you know, North Carolina or such, where pretty much most days are above freezing. It's not the case. Like, as we see in the shadows here, it's still a little frosty. It's thawing out there in the sun. The high today is about 36, and that's kind of our normal winter days, is where you get the night below freezing, 20s, and then it turns around. Once the sun comes up, it'll warm it up to the upper 30s, and that's it. That's most of the winter. That's where that hickory tree was. Got milled out of. See, I'm in the process there, but I broke my saw. Yay! All the little stuff chunked up for firewood. Even though I don't have a wood stove, I can at least sell it. But I cut it a little high. I know you guys are like, why is that cut so high? That's because I got power line there, communications line right behind me, tree there, basically anywhere I felt it, I had something to hit. Chicken, slow down. So I measured it. I figured if I cut up 4 foot, I would have plenty of room to fall it this way, and it still did get a little uncomfortably close to the power line, but it's all good. I ain't the best at felling trees, but I kind of do know what I'm doing. Although, using my little Pulling Pro, any expert will tell you there, I definitely did not cut that right. And I put too much of a wedge in it. But, we're all good. However, I did have the help that it was kind of leaning this way, hence why I cut it a little bit bigger on that side, because I wanted to make sure it would actually follow that lean, because it was also leaning that way too. So if you can picture, it was kind of like that way leaning. Moral of the story though, if you don't know what you're doing, don't cut trees, because it can get dangerous. There was a spot or two where it got sketchy, but I've been around it my whole life, so I was comfortable doing it. I really wanted to get like the power company or telecommunications company to come and do it. Both of them said it's too far, which I couldn't figure out how, because if it fell this way, it's definitely taking that line out. If it fell that way, it was definitely taking the power line out. So the last effort was I called the township, and they said it's got to be 4 foot from the road, and that's like 6. So nobody would come to cut it unless I hired a professional, and that's just not in the budget right now. The Alaskan chainsaw mill, I'm starting to get pretty good at it. I mean, that's fairly straight. Hi, chicken. Oh, now we got screams going on. Ah! Guess you're gonna get wind up. Oh my gosh, now I got all of them. So I lost one of these to a bobcat. Somehow got out of the pen. Went over into the woods. A bobcat chased the neighbor's field, and he got footage of it. I got to see that on footage. That wasn't the most comfortable thing to see, but so that kind of puts me in gear to get the barn built. Build them a specialized coop. Probably sell the temporary one, even though I kind of do like how that one turned out. Because the ducks and the geese, I don't really worry about too much, because the geese make too much noise for predators to come close. But as you see, they like to run into the woods. Then I wonder why I get one killed by a bobcat. Them guys, even if they get out of their pen, kind of stick around. And again, with the geese making so much noise, I'm fairly confident that as long as they stay here, they'll be all right. I also want to get a livestock guardian dog and put some like better fencing up. That's another project. Fencing. Anywhere that it's going to be permanent, I'm going to put your white picket fence, but I'm going to have like hardware cloth or cattle panels behind, and I'm going to run electric on the top row of it. So this is definitely going to be white picket fence. That whole side is definitely going to be white picket fence. That I'm probably going to tear down and put white picket fence. And then here in the middle, actually this might even become white picket fence. Down to the barn and possibly straight down from the barn, but I am going to have a series of gates there, so eventually I can fence the garden in, and during the winter, like right now, I can just open the gate and let them out in there. I'm going to divide it with less than permanent fence, basically right in the middle. There'll be a central corral around where the flat spot there is, and that way I can, especially during the summertime, I can let them in this side for a week, shut it off, let them in that side for a week. That way they're not destroying the ground like they kind of already have. It's not that they're destroying the ground, it's just they pick all the good grass off while it's growing before it actually finishes growing. So now I gotta fix that. Next year I won't have nearly as many animals as I have now. In fact, I already butchered a bunch of them. A bunch of them are going to get butchered. I'm going to keep the Emden geese, what I got now. They'll be my breeding stock. I'm actually going to eliminate most of the ducks, just because I don't need so many animals. The geese are really good for meat, efficient on the grains and such if they got grass to eat. The ducks are okay-ish on the efficiency, but it's a lot of processing for a little bit amount of meat. In fact, I might even get rid of all the runners, just because, yeah, they're good for eggs, but that's what chickens are for. And unless I have a big market to sell to, no sense in even keeping them. If I cut the population in half, this will be plenty enough grass grow during the summer to feed them. This was supposed to be just an update to you guys, so, I want to get back into doing this. I'll be back in another video. I'm really thinking of doing the chainsaw review next, because it's a cheap saw, but it's actually really good. I don't even know if I should do a review on it, because it's been well covered on other circles on YouTube. They kind of leave out a few points that I think I want to add in. Anyways, that'll be all for this one. See y'all in the next one. Thanks for watching.